Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, for those that maybe didn't see the first video that I put out today, I have some very important information on there, and I'm going to follow it up with this during the introduction of this video. Please go ahead and give this video a like, ladies and gentlemen. If you really dislike this video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs down, but do one or the other. All right, it seems that the YouTube channels that are not in favor with those people that make the decisions, i.e. the algorithm, are really getting downplayed a lot. And it helps a lot, hopefully, I think, that if you give the video a like and you watch the video all the way through and you let at least 1 or 2 ads run through for at least 30 seconds, that it really falls in favor with the algorithm. And as I stated on my first video, we really need to get the word out. All right, we really need to make sure that people are getting prepared, because we are in that fourth turning. And what I'm going to talk to you about today on this video proves that we are in that fourth turning, because the fourth turning is the turning of crises, where it's crises after crises after crises. Can you ask yourself, in the last 3 to 5 years, has there been a year where there has not been a crisis? Has there been a year where the average person in general, all right, in general, is not suffering or is not having it worse than they had it the year before? Families are spending over $700 a month more due to inflation. Remember that inflation conversation we had a few years back when everyone was so excited because the government was going to be handing out stimulus? But I remember putting out a video where I was saying, this stimulus that they're going to give us is going to end up hurting you even more. We do not want this. They're giving us this stimulus because they want to have an excuse to give all of these other big corporations and their buddies even more money than what they're giving us. And that's exactly what happened. And I explained in those videos why it is that accepting that stimulus and spending that stimulus is going to create inflation that was going to hurt us for the next several years, ladies and gentlemen. And now people are feeling the effects of that stimulus that was handed out 2-3 years ago. You see, because handing out of the stimulus is a leading indicator as to what's going to happen in the future. When you put too much money into the economy, what happens? Or let me put it this way, when you put too much money into the economy compared to the amount of goods that's being manufactured, meaning that you have more money chasing the same amount or lower amount of goods, what's going to happen? Inflation. And that's exactly what we're experiencing now. But the only problem is there's no more stimulus. Where's the stimulus? All right? Where's the government stimulus now? No, we're getting the opposite. We are paying back that stimulus. And the problem is that we're going to pay back that stimulus 10, 100-fold, depending on how many years you live on this earth, of what you received. $700 more per month. What did we get in stimulus altogether for those 2 or 3 years that we got them? What, I don't know, about $3,000, let's say $3,000 altogether, right? $700 a month times 12, to me, seems like it's a little more than $3,000. But the problem is that this inflation, ladies and gentlemen, is what Jerome Powell likes to call sticky inflation, all right? And it will stick forever. Prices are not coming back down, all right? Inflation may be coming down, or the rate of inflation may be coming down, but prices are not coming back down, ladies and gentlemen. You may see a sale item here or a sale item there, or you may see the housing market crash here eventually if interest rates get too high. You think that the rate of inflation coming down is going to continue to go down? No, ladies and gentlemen. We have another round of inflation coming. All right. What we are experiencing now is just the tip of the iceberg. You just wait. All right. You just wait and see where inflation is headed. That's why in my case, I'd rather just go ahead and put my excess wealth, whatever it is that I may have, whether it's a little or a lot, I would rather put that excess wealth in something that's tangible. Do I have one here? Look at this. I'd rather put it into this, into something that's real. Because this right here is always going to be 1 troy ounce of silver. Always. A dollar bill may be a dollar bill in name, but it will never be worth the same day after day, year after year. It will lose value continually, where this is always going to be the exact same thing. Pure silver. All right, ladies and gentlemen, AG47. And that brings us to today's video sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, ITM Trading. If you have what I like to call excess wealth, meaning that you've got all of your preps out of the way and you're in the process of just filling in the gap and keeping up with the things that you need to be at 100% with your preparedness items, then check out ITM Trading. Ms. Zhang and her crew have been in business for almost 3 decades, ladies and gentlemen. This is only open to those of you who live within the United States of America. And if you have anywhere from as little as $5,000 to, I don't know, $500 million to put away in precious metals in order to preserve your value, then go ahead and give them a call. One of the things that I really like about partnering with ITM Trading is that they do not pressure sell you. You can call them, you can set up a phone consultation which will cost you $0, ladies and gentlemen, and they will educate you first and foremost and allow you to make the decision of whether you want to purchase from them or not, even if it takes you 10 phone consultations. So go ahead and give them a call or sign up for one of their consultations online. The link for the sign up is in the description of the video, as well as the phone number. And in addition to that, of course, having real things, tangible things, food, medical supplies, self-defense, having things that are real, ladies and gentlemen, is what's going to get you through this, because fiat currency has nowhere to go except down in value. Think about that. High inflation of the past 2+ years has done a lot of economic damage. And here this gentleman tweeted out, to be sure, the high inflation of the past 2 years has done a lot of economic damage. Due to high inflation, the typical household spent $200 more in July than they did a year ago to buy the same goods and services. And they spent $709 more than they did 2 years ago. So to buy the same goods and services today than what you did 2 years ago is an additional $709. That is an incredible amount. What is that going to do to your average working poor? Here they continue to say, even though prices have soared, real earnings and wages, which adjust for inflation, are stuck in the late 2019 levels. Most families are having to cut back as prices have surged. Most of that increase in spending is driven by housing costs, which have surged. He added that families also are spending more at the grocery store on buying, maintaining, and insuring vehicles, and on recreational services like cable. Now, most of those things right here where they say that families are having to spend more are things that you need to live, with the exception of that cable. If you still have cable, ladies and gentlemen, get rid of that stuff and buy you some rice and put it away for long term. Food prices are crazy high right now, they say. I think we can all agree on that, but what most people don't know is that they will soon go a lot higher. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time to prepare. I'm telling you, you need to get prepared. I have a feeling that this year's harvest is going to be terrible, not just in the United States, but worldwide. And we're already seeing the effects of last year's harvest, which is what we're eating right now. The food prices are all a lot higher. Between the actual harvests and between all of the regulations and laws that have been passed against farmers, because, you know, worldwide leaders are trying to kill the family farm. We are seeing inflation in food like we've never seen before, at least in our lifetime, right? In our lifetime, if we remember anything past the 80s, I guess, you know, I was very, very young in the 70s, so I wouldn't remember that stuff. But we are seeing prices that we've never really seen before, and people are not used to it, and salaries or wages are not keeping up with the inflation. Over the past few years, we have seen food prices in the United States and other wealthy countries do things that they have never done before. Unfortunately, this is just the beginning. Global food supplies are getting tighter, ladies and gentlemen. This is not about availability because of prices. This is about availability because of scarcity. I said a long time ago that we are going to turn from a food crisis of high prices to a food crisis of availability, where there will be scarcity. So as governments are trying to take away the food because of them trying to regulate what kind of foods or how we can grow foods, food prices are going up, and they're going to continue to go up. And they continue to say, for decades, many among the elite were optimistic that someday we would be able to eliminate global hunger completely because tremendous progress was being made. But then, right around 2015, things started to reverse, and now the trend is very much going in the wrong direction. According to the United Nations, 2.4 billion people did not have enough food to eat last year. 900 million of them were facing severe food insecurity, where I did read an article a while back from the UN stating that they were going to have to take food away from the hungry to give to the starving. Those numbers will almost certainly go even higher this year because it's getting more difficult for poor countries to get food that they need to feed their population. But we do have one piece of good news, ladies and gentlemen. You know, 1/3 of the world population is going hungry, but at least manufacturers are making a killing off of selling all of those arms that are being used to eliminate people. Think about it. While 1/3 of the world is going hungry, but then you have pundits stand on a stage with their $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 suits or dresses and tell you we have to stop farming because farming causes too much CO2, too much methane. But they have no problem with funding weapons of war so that people can cease to exist. It's pretty sickening, isn't it? That's the world we live in, and that's why you must stay prepared. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all of your support. I truly do appreciate every one of you. Make sure that you are here this Friday. It's going to be our live stream at 4 p.m. Alaska time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, all right? Have a great day. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.